Hi there. Are we rolling here? We might be off to a little bit of a slow start. It's been one of those days. Okay. Good afternoon. I see Slim Edelman and Ann Mintz here, and don't know who else yet. We're just getting rolling. And I just came back from jamming with my good buddy Mark Cosgrove and my other old friend Ed Fortuna. Had a real nice time playing tunes for about an hour and a half. And just got here in time to get the little monster out back for a couple minutes. And he was a little rammy at first, but he's calmed right down. That's Charlie the dog, for those of you who may not know. And we're ready to roll here. We have Linda Worster and Bob McKenna and Laura Jackson Selden and Helene Tober Fowler, a bloke from England, and Phil DeFranco and Kathy Marzik and David Arthur Radcliffe, also from England. So we're doing our thing here. I will clink you. Here's the official Ann Mintz Clinkophonic mug, not monk. I need this right now because there's nothing to calm your nerves like coffee, right? Maybe not. Okay, so Kathy Marzik, I said hi to. Is anybody else coming in here? Kate Mack and Debbie Moore up there in Maine, and Johnson Hogg and Steve Edelman again. We had huge storms here last night. Boy, was it rainy. The backyard was like a big lake. And even Charlie the dog did not want to go out. It was raining so hard. But he did eventually. And we got to sleep and all that stuff. Went to the park this morning and saw that the Janice Mackenzie bench had been underwater. You could tell because of all the flotsam that had landed on top of it. You know, so that means that the water had come up like 4 or 5 feet from where it usually is. Pretty crazy, but by the morning it had come down a bit. And so, you know, that's the way things go. So I will get going with some music here, and first one is from Bob Dylan. You may have heard of him. Early one morning the sun was shining. I was laying in bed, wondering if she had changed at all, if her hair was still red. Her folks, they said our lives together, this sure was gonna be tough. They never did like Mama's homemade dress, Daddy's bank book wasn't big enough. And I was standing by the side of the road, rain pouring on my shoes, heading out for the East Coast. Lord knows I paid some dues getting through. Tangled up in blue. Now she was married when we first met, soon to be divorced. I helped her out of a jam, I guess, but I used a little too much force. We drove that car as far as we could, abandoned it out west. Broke up on a dark, sad night, both agreeing it was best. She turned around to look at me as I was walking away. I heard her say over my shoulder, we'll meet again someday on the avenue. Tangled up in blue. had a job in the great North Woods, working as a cook for a spell. But I never did like it all that much, and one day the axe just fell. So I drifted down to New Orleans, where my luck it was to be employed, working for a while on a fishing boat just outside of Delacroix. But all the time I was alone, the past was close behind. You know, I've seen a lot of women, but she never escaped my mind, and I just grew tangled up in blue. Now she was working in a topless place, and I stopped in for a beer. I just kept staring at the side of her face in the spotlight so clear. And later on, when the crowd thinned out, I was just about to do the same. She was standing there beside my chair. She said, "Tell me, don't I know your name?" Well, I muttered something underneath my breath. She studied the lines in my face. I must admit I felt a little uneasy when she went down to tie the laces of my shoe. Tangled up in blue. She lit a burner on the stove and offered me a pipe. She said, "I thought you'd never say hello. You look like the silent type." She opened up a book of poems and handed it to me, written by an Italian poet from the 13th century. And every one of them words rang true and glowed like burning coals, leaping off of every page, like they were written on my soul from me to you. Tangled up in blue. Well, I lived with them on Montague Street, in the basement down the stair. There was music in the cafes at night and revolution in the air. He started into dealing with slaves. Something inside of him died. She had to sell everything she owned and froze up inside. And then when finally the bottom fell out, I became withdrawn. The only thing I knew how to do was to keep on keeping on, like a bird that flew. Tangled up in blue. So now I'm headed back again. I got to get to her somehow. All those people we used to know, they're an illusion to me now. Some are mathematicians, some are carpenters' wives. I never knew how it all got started. I don't know what we did with our lives, but me, I'm still on the road, heading for another joint. We always did feel the same. We just saw it from a different point of view. Tangled up in blue. Tangled Up in Blue by Bob Dylan. So let me back up here, see who I have missed. Rhonda Scott Merrick and Lori Payne and Deb Leby Clark, Carol Pred, Kathy Marzik, Kate Petrella, Dwight Shoemade next door, Leonard Augustine, and Cold Bavaria, and Michael Tierson, Rich Fowler. Ann Mintz says it rained over 5 inches in our neighborhood. And we are the same, Ann. My house is on the ridge, and we remain dry, too. I don't know how much rain we had, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was 5 inches. It was really a lot. And Jim Greco, my old buddy from Kent. And Michael Miller in North Carolina. And Jim Moore, my dear buddy from junior high, high school, and ever after. And like that. So... Good, I've got a flat pick. So I think I'm going to change it, do an audible here and change up the order a little bit. So I don't have to retune too many times. And this next song I will do for you. I see Jawbone Jim is here on YouTube. And this next one is from the great Fred Neil. Balancing act. This is not a real short scale guitar, but it's short enough that it makes it a little bit hard to get that low string in tune when you go into drop D. This old world won't ever change the way that it's been, and all the ways of war won't change it back again. I've been searching for the dolphins in the sea. Sometimes I wonder, do you ever think of me? I'm not the one to tell the world how to get along. I only know that peace will come when all hate is gone. I've been searching for the dolphins in the sea. Sometimes I wonder, do you ever think of me? You know, sometimes I think about Saturday's Child and all about those times when we were running wild. I've been searching for the dolphins in the sea. Sometimes I wonder, do you ever think of me? This old world won't ever change. This old world won't ever change. This old world won't ever change. The great Fred Neil, the late great Fred Neil, wrote a ton of great songs. The one that's best known is the song Everybody's Talkin', which was used in the movie Midnight Cowboy. And I saw Laura asked what the scale is on this guitar. So this guitar, for those of you who don't know much about guitar tech, the scale of the guitar is the distance of the vibrating string. So it's the distance from this part here called the nut, where the string goes over the frets to start being what vibrates, to the bridge saddle is the scale length of the guitar. And what's considered full length, and this was pretty much established by Martin Guitar Company. Their full-length scale was 25.4 inches, and their short scale is 24.9 inches. So this guitar is at 24.9. And Gibson, which Laura Jackson Selden is the Gibson girl, most of their guitars were 24 and 24.75, 24 and 3/4. Some of their guitars had a longer scale, but a lot of them didn't. And so this is not as short scale as some of those little Gibsons, Laura, but it's shorter than your average guitar. And it's much longer than my Prue guitar, which is 24-inch scale. So there's a little guitar knowledge for you for today. I need more coffee. Clink. And there are announcements to be made. Here is the PayPal and Venmo link. It's always up there during the concert. You can copy it down, and if you'd like to contribute a little something, it's always appreciated and never expected. There's also our Invisibles, and the Invisibles include but are not limited to Kit Serikaku, Judith Fox, Joel Biget, Mario Prue, George Young. I think Ron and Aretta are no longer invisible, but I'm not sure about that. I see Bruce Armstrong is here from Scottsbluff, Nebraska. Thanks for stopping in again, Bruce. And Janet Wacker, who I believe I know, and Warren and Janelle are here, and that's maybe everybody who I have not already said hi to, which is good. So, the schedule. I'm on right now. It's 3 o'clock on Wednesday. I believe on Thursday night at 7 o'clock Central. Helen Avakian and David Irwin will do their stream. They're both excellent musicians, so you might enjoy that. I see Steve Sherman just showed up here, who's Bunny Barnes' brother. Hi, Steve. And that's Thursday at 7 Central. That's 8 o'clock Eastern. Friday, Slim Edelman at 3:30 Eastern Time. Bunny Barnes at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturday, Warren has said that he is not doing a stream. Something else must have come up. And on Sunday, I'll be back at 10:30. So there you have it. So I'm going to play something for you here. I couldn't decide on an instrumental today, and now since I'm under the gun, I'll play something that I'm real comfortable with and that I also have always loved. So this is a jazz standard called My Secret Love. My Secret Love. And you guys are all talking about Doris Day. I am a little, I never caught that one. I might have been too young when that movie came out. I always associated with the Lettermen, who were a great harmony singing trio when I was a kid. And they did a really beautiful version of it. So I have one more for you after I have another sip of coffee, and then gotta get little Charlie to the park. His lunchtime walk was very early today because I wanted to go jam. Part of my life is trying to have a life and still own Charlie, so it's a battle sometimes. And he's now waiting, and I'm kind of waiting. Let me see if my buddy Rick got back to me. Okay. Just had to check in on that, and then we'll go back here. And here we go. So this, from Fraser and DeBolt. These dance hall girls, they treat you kind. They give you their bodies, but you'll never reach their mind. They fill you up with lipstick lies. When they put you down, son, don't be surprised. Is this the way it always is here in Baltimore? I held her mountains, I kissed her plains, I touched her sunshine, Lord, I drank her rain. We come so far, but we broke too fast. Thought I had a winner, but I come in last again. Is this the way it always is here in Baltimore? I must have chosen the wrong season to come down. I never realized they call this sacred ground. My sense of time, hell, I'm a week behind. I sent a letter home, but these things take time, you know. Gonna get some money, gonna go back home. These dance hall girls know how to make a man feel alone. Is this the way it always is here in Baltimore? I must have chosen the wrong season to come down. I never realized they call this sacred ground. My sense of time, hell, I'm a week behind. They give you their bodies, but you'll never reach their mind. They fill you up lipstick lies. These dance hall girls, they say they can't stand to see a grown man cry. Is this the way it always is here in Baltimore? Is this the way it always is here in Baltimore. Dance hall girls. Bruce Armstrong said, I don't know if requests are appropriate. Sunday mornings is request day, and because you don't seem to be on Facebook, you would have to. You could always email me a request at raleigh@raleigh.brown.com, and I do requests based on whether it's a song I'm comfortable with. Sometimes I'll learn a song I don't already know, but sometimes I'll only do songs which I already know, and there are quite a few of those. If you've tuned in over the years, you'd know that. And but it's always okay to ask. And I'm going to sing a little mantra for you here. And Michael Tierson says the Baltimore in the Dance Hall Girls is not in Maryland; it is in Canada, and that is correct. Alan Fraser was driving on the QEW or whatever it's called in Ontario, and he saw an exit in Baltimore. I think it's Baltimore, Ontario. It might be in Ottawa. That said, live girls dancers or whatever, and it gave him the idea for the song. And I have a friend, Kathy McCraw, who is sometimes on here. I haven't seen her here today, and she lives near there. And when I first told, well, it wasn't her, it was the guy who told me this story at a guitar camp, and I'm forgetting his name for right now. And he said when he heard that, he thought, man, there's not enough room in that town. That town is so small, there couldn't even be a dance hall there. Anyhow, thank you again for joining me. I will hope to see you on Sunday. I've already mentioned other music on this week. And much love to you all. And be happy. Be healthy. Be brave. And be calm. Be kind. It's a snap. And if you get cranky, take a nap. Thank you. Thanks, Jim Moore. Thank all you guys for joining me. Michael Tierson kind of set the record straight. Ottawa is a city and not a province. So I'm thinking when you go east of Ontario, what do you hit? Quebec? I'm not sure. Anyhow, we'll settle it some other time. That's why you have Mr. Google. Go look it up yourself. I don't have the time right now. Charlie beckons. So you're welcome to you all. I love you guys. Thank you for joining me, and I will hope to see you again soon.